Welcome everybody to the Mancave. We got a great show for you guys tonight. I'm very excited about the special guest we have. But before we get to him, got my main man Suge over here.
Yeah. What's up, man?
They already know what it is. What's up, man?
Man, just chilling, man.
You're awfully close today.
I know, man.
I like it.
I just got back from my little mini vacation down in Galveston Island. Shout out to everybody down in Houston, Galveston. Showed us a good time. And I also want to give a special shout out to Fatima. Happy 28th birthday. You getting up there, my dear?
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, you look like you was chilling out there, though.
Yeah,
Where was you at?
I was down in Galveston, man. Got a little beach house out there, you know what I mean? So we got to take a little trip, man. We got to take a little trip.
We definitely got to do that, man. Definitely got to take a little trip.
It was nice, man. It was nice.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it took you about, what, 4 hours drive?
It's about like a nice little 4-hour drive, 45 all the way south.
Y'all right there. About Galveston a little further, though.
Yeah,
right?
Galveston about like 60 miles past Houston. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
a
a
little
hour.
island, man. No, not really, but like 40 miles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, maybe an hour. Depending on traffic.
All right, see you.
But we gotta definitely do that trip again, man. So shout out to everybody in Galveston, huh?
You been holding out.
I told y'all, man. Y'all gotta get up on them trips, man.
Beach house out there.
Yeah. It's nice, man. It's nice.
All right, well, before we go any further, I got another special guest, very near and dear to my heart. You know what I'm saying? My little man himself, Lil Dave. What's going on, boy?
Hey.
That's all you got to say? Hey.
What's up?
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm sure he's a little nervous right now, so it's cool.
We're gonna get him later.
Yeah, we'll get up to him a little later on, man. But now for our special guest that we got in the building, the whole reason we here, I'm very excited to bring this man on. I've been hounding him on his inbox for months trying to get him in here. I know he's busy. You know, he's on his road to 30. You know what I'm saying? He'll explain what all that is. But let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Maurice Curtis.
Hey! God bless you, Doc.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Can't complain.
I appreciate you coming through, man. First of all, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for
coming
having
in
me,
here, man. I appreciate you coming through. Hey, you know, I don't know if you remembered us, but we had a great time with you on New Year's.
Yeah, man. You know what? Shout out to my boy Kev, man. One Kappa from the city, man. Actually put me on to that gig, man, and had me out serenading the people before the turn up.
Yeah.
Before the official turn up and whatnot. Of course, I try to bring the turn up with me, but God bless you for the water, Doc. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
You killed it that night, man.
You, man.
I mean, we had a great time. I mean, we was right up there in table one. That was the whole fellas. That was the fellas right there. I think he was the only one who wasn't there. It was you. Yeah, you was the only one there.
Where was you at that night?
I think I was probably going through it at that time.
Yeah, I understand.
I like that jacket you was wearing that night too.
Hey, man, you know what?
It's pretty fly.
You know, little birds here, little trees there on the jacket and whatnot. Now, yeah, man, I got that out of one of the shops in black folks call it Redbird. If you from the Cliff, you call it Redbird. If you not from the Cliff, you call it Southwest in the Mall. But yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that's where PT's at.
Yeah, man.
So you where you from, man? You originally from here?
I'm originally from Oak Cliff, Highland Hills, man.
Okay.
I tell people that all
right, you're right, because you do a lot in New Orleans, so I wasn't sure if it was from the boot or not.
Actually, my lady is from New Orleans, man.
Okay.
I'm New Orleans inspired, man. I love New Orleans to the death for me, man. I love my city to the death for me, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw you out there. You was at what was it? The Center for Contemporary Arts out there in New Orleans. You was doing your thing, huh?
Yeah, man. I was down there with my boy Trewan. So he's a dope poet right here at the city as well, man.
Okay.
Right here at the Triple D, man. Straight out of Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
I was down in Oak Cliff. What was this Friday?
Yeah.
And I noticed they shut down Redbird Mall, though, right? They shut down, right?
So they shutting it down just to rebuild it for them. And I'm not gonna try to get into too much of that, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're rebuilding it, trying to revitalize that area, that sector of the city.
A little regen.
You know,
I was over there. I was like, they got a Starbucks over here.
It's over now. You know, that's how we all feel. That's how we all. If you from the Cliff, if you from that area, I went to school at Carter, just right around the corner from there. And man, when I tell you, we see the changes. If you are 80s baby, 70s, 80s, 90s baby. You've seen the changes that's happened to that area. You know, I call it what it is, the gentrification of that area as well.
Of course.
But we, you know, it's up to my generation to come back and build wealth on that same land.
You're right.
You know, if not take it back, at least mix in with it. You know, that's all we can do.
Okay, so you grew up in Oak Cliff.
Yes, sir.
What school did you go to?
So I grew up in the Wilma Hutchins district. I grew up. I started off at Bishop Heights.
Right.
I went over to man. I can't even go through all lines of schools, but man, Bishop Heights, Mamie White, Altamesa.
You've been all over the damn
man.
place.
I was all over the whole. I went through the whole Wilma Hutchins
So
district.
when did you pick up that sax though?
I was
start playing that.
So I was in the Wilma Hutchins district at Kennedy Carey Middle School, and I was out. My sister had came through the band, blase. I was always that little kid. You know how they had little kids that was marching on the side of the bands all the time, dancing with the bands, trying to get in the band. Yeah, that was me. I was that little kid at a young age, and then I got to middle school. The middle school band director remembered my face and was like, you know what? I remember you when you came through with your sister. I didn't have a horn at the time. It was.
How old were you?
I was 12 years old, man.
Oh, okay.
12 years old.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Still fresh in the game.
Yeah. I mean, but 12 years old, that's a
man.
pretty good age to start at, though.
Yeah, man. He gave me my first saxophone.
Oh, yeah?
He didn't have no use for it. He said, you know, to hell with it. And gave it to me and was like, all right. And my godfather played. So it was almost, I won't say it was second nature for me because it took a minute for me to get into it, but it didn't take me a minute for me to
I
get
was
into
going
it.
to ask you that. Was this something you felt like you were just drawn to it, you just couldn't put it down, or was it
I was already drawn into it. I was drawn into the musical side of it.
Right.
So I was listening to 101.1 FM classical station.
Kenny
You know.
G and all that.
Well, see, that was 107.5
Okay, see.
the Oasis, guy. And I was listening to stuff that my younger colleagues weren't listening to. I was like, man, I love this type of music. This is what I'm on. My pops was, you know, God rest his soul. He was an old school cat. He you know, grew up in the 60s and the 70s. So, you know, he put me on the Earth, Wind and Fire and Parliament and cats like those. So I was already in tune with the different, you know, aside from hip hop, I already, you know, loved the R&B side, but I was a gospel baby for sure.
So is it a difference between like playing your school, you know, type of music and then your jazz infused music? I mean, what's the difference in that? Like, how did you shift to make that shift?
So, man, when it comes down to it, jazz itself is so musical. It becomes you just like that.
Right.
It's people make it jazz. People call it jazz, but jazz doesn't have a name.
Right.
You know, it could be anywhere from this certain thing to that certain thing. Of course, you know, if you think about it, it was the what was it called? Honky tonk at first, and then they, you know, you had the Renaissance era, and you just kept going, and they just started to call it bebop and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, that was jazz, man. That's
right.
So I happened into it because I just love being out the box. I
Right.
started playing stuff, you know, that wasn't the normal sheet music. Number one, because I didn't know how to read music off top. So yeah, I had an ear, and
Right.
that's what I set up under, and I listened to the radio all the time. I would just go back and forth doodling, trying to see if I could pick it up. And I, at some point in time, developed my ear to the point where I was playing different songs, playing in different keys, and didn't even know I was playing in different keys.
Right,
but
exactly.
until I started to, you know, somebody put me on, my directors when I got to high school, I was like, wait, we're going to show you this. So that's when I started to dive into the theory part of music.
Yeah, which there's a lot of theory in it.
Too much theory. Too much theory.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's so much theory in music and so many ways to learn it. It's beyond what we think about it.
So were you in a band or something like that?
I was in a band in middle school, was in a band in high school.
Okay.
I was trying to be a athlete at the same time.
Damn.
But a 5'4" stature.
Yeah.
190. I mean, I was solid, but I wasn't too solid back then.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? It got me to high school, and I was able to get over. I was asthmatic at first.
Yeah.
So me continuing on to play sports all while still being in the band helped me to, you know, be able to number one. Get better hand-eye coordination.
You need a lot of wind too to play that thing.
People don't understand. I get tired after about a good 5 minutes of trying to hold certain notes.
Right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man.
I was going to ask you. I mean, I know that takes a lot of work. So, is there any kind of like, you know, things that you do to keep yourself in shape to play? Because I mean, you play for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a set, right?
Man. So funny. I actually. When I quit my job at UPS and I decided to do full-on music, full time, I had pretty much got my workout in. I was in college for 2 years at community college, wasn't really doing pretty much absolutely nothing, but taking care of my little girl, at least trying to, and you know, just chilling with my boys, smoking weed, having fun. 2 years, I wasn't doing nothing. Then I got with UPS. And I was like, man, this ain't really for me. But, you know, I stuck in there for a year. So I got my little workout in where I started.
You were loading and unloading.
Yeah, I was loading.
Yeah, I was joke.
Man, I was a loader.
Yeah, that shit ain't no joke.
Yeah, man, I was pretty much.
You had to deal with the E-rigs. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Me and one of my best friends, man, we always joke about it, and we say, man, we used to not want to see a brown box, not a damn motherfucking day.
Right. So this is what I want to do for you, Maurice, real quick, because I want to get my little man into this thing real quick, right? So me and him have an ongoing debate, and we debate all the time. A lot of you guys probably wouldn't know that he would debate with me. This dude debates with me about anything. I'm talking about peanut butter being on the top of the bread versus the bottom slice of bread.
The jelly's supposed to be on the top.
Right, yeah, we debate about everything. He being shy right now, but so listen. I want you to be the voice for me. I want you to be the voice for yourself.
Okay.
This is a young man who is not only one of the best saxophone players at his school, but probably in the state. You know what I'm saying? How old were you when you started, Pop?
Like 10.
No, you weren't. You were like 6 when you started playing sax.
Fourth grade.
When did you get your first saxophone?
2011. So I was 9.
9. I think you was younger than that for real, right? Because we started in DC, and in DC their bands start at what?
Young.
Yeah, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
Yeah, that's cool.
Man.
So he's been playing. So when he came here, he was already a little bit ahead of the game.
Right.
So we've been having a debate. We've been had it on the way down here. But I'm like, look, you need to go ahead and learn you like 10 of these Kenny G songs. And we gonna go ahead and get you playing some weddings. You a kid too, you young. I'm telling you can do this. Now his argument is you can't just play jazz, Dad.
No, because see, the thing is, he's like, if you just learn the notes,
there you
can
go.
play it. But it's not as simple as just learning the notes. Because I can play the notes to boot up, but if I just play the notes to boot up, like you remember in 6th grade, 5th grade, when I played Drunk in Love for my school talent show, and I just played the notes. And everyone was like, "Oh, you played the notes."
You got to put some soul into it.
It is that requires practice. It's not. I can't just look up the sheet music and have soul because I'm not. That's not the music that I do. Like,
What type of music do you do?
Hey.
Right,
He know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
He know what he's talking about, man.
What type of music do you do though?
I do what my band gives me. So I play classical music.
All classical music.
I'm doing the same thing every other student in Texas is doing.
And I'm trying to tell you to be different.
Yeah, that's where you do have to branch out. Now I'll tell you this: I had a one up on cats because of the simple fact that I refused to play the sheet music, and that was because it was hard for me to play the sheet music because I had more of an ear. first of all, I was horrible in math at first, so that part was keeping me, from being able to read music at the start of it all too. But what I did learn was, once I learned the root of the songs, to learn how to improvise over that. So you have your bass and your bass notes, which is already on the sheet music. Mm-hmm. What can you do to make it more full or more sound a lot better? Like, for instance, you just said
show them some stuff. Show them some stuff.
You just said you just play around with it, man. Just until it sounds.
That boy, sexual chocolate.
Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. Since for the people that's watching that ever come to the show, do not do that to me. Man, but do not. I hate, bro. That one, and what's the other one, Doc? I can't even think.
Hey, man, that shit put you in the mood,
man. Nah, so cats be like, you said something. Kenny G is a great saxophonist. Do you listen to Kirk Whalum?
No. Grover Washington? No. He won't listen to him. I did. Thank you. Thank you.
So they are what we consider our classical musicians for soul music. These cats have legit focused on their voices when playing soul music or music period. Have you heard of the Whitney Houston "I Will Always Love You"? You know who plays that solo? That would be Kirk Whalum.
And that's a mega hit.
Man.
Hit.
He made that song.
Yeah, that's a mega hit. You know what? Like when I listen to music, I always pay attention to the horns because I don't think there's enough horns in
it's not.
You know what I mean? And I think it really it changes it hits a certain chakra, like an energy chakra in your body, and I think it makes you fall more in love with the song.
Facts. Man, it's about vibrations.
Wayne?
Yeah.
That's. I was wondering who just walked in.
That's Wayne right there, man.
That's the other part.
We're going to get him in here in a second because we're going to talk about them fights.
Look, he said.
Hey, no. So I wanted to ask you this too. When it comes to being a musician, I'm a small musician myself too. I play some things. I do my thing too.
Okay.
But when it comes to being a musician in today's society, do you find it a little harder to be able to get the work that's out there? I mean, with the invent of Fruity Loops and auto tunes and all of this stuff that we doing.
Man, technology is a great motor. It's a great engine to use to get to wherever you need to be. And if you use it correctly, if you use it to your benefit, it'll benefit you the way that you need to. That's what I tell anybody, because Facebook is a huge platform that you can use to be able to push your music and push your brand and be able to capitalize.
But are you getting work with recording artists?
With recording artists, that's something that we will always struggle with. Independent artists versus the monster.
So how about your New York Symphony Orchestra and stuff like that, and the Dallas Symphony Orchestra and stuff like that? How are those avenues as it comes to trying to break into them?
I'll put it to you like this: know somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Know somebody that knows somebody.
One of them things.
As a matter of fact, I had a cat that met me on the street corner performing while I was street performing. Came out and saw me, and he was like, "Dude, you dope. I want you to sit in for me in my chair. When I'm not there, can you read music, such and such and such?" But I don't know if he lost my number, I lost his number, what happened. Yeah. But that's the hard part.
Right.
Once you get those connects, man, you have to capitalize on them right then and there.
Yeah, he's in a real good band, so I figure he's gonna be pretty dope when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But
is he at an art school?
No, he's at Berkner.
What's that? Public school?
Yeah, it's Richardson,
Yeah.
but they got a really
Yeah.
awesome band.
Yeah.
They got a
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
good band. So I mean, I'm super satisfied with the job they've done with him, and with, they keep him busy. So
And of course, as
right,
they
right.
should. Yeah.
So when you play outside of Texas Stadium a lot, right, and stuff like that, like how is that received? Like what kind of
So I'm have to specify it because you're a Redskins fan. I know it. And you called it Texas Stadium. You're wrong. It is AT&T Stadium or Jerry World.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't for but the politics of it. But that's Jerry's world. That's Jerry's world. And so, nah, man.
I saw Zeke last night.
Did you?
Yeah,
Man,
he like my size. I was like, that's pretty alright. He pretty big.
But you
though.
a pretty tall dude.
Yeah, but he's like my size though. He's my height, my size on.
Yeah,
I
he's a
might
running
be a
back,
little
though.
bit more tall.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
big
running
though. That's what I'm saying. He's big.
Round about how tall are you?
6'2".
Yeah, round about that 6'2".
Yeah,
that's
he
running
might be
back
a
size.
little shorter than me.
Now, I'll say Dak. I met Dak face to face. He came and tipped me one day with one another player. Yeah, came outside the AAC. It's like,
That's what's
I
up.
was like, man, bless you. You know what I'm saying? Hit him up on Instagram afterwards.
What's the
Like,
most you
appreciate
made
it.
out there before?
Man, you all up in the man pockets, man.
That's what the show's about.
Listen.
Getting in the nigga pocket. Getting in his business. I'm in your business.
Couple of dollars.
I'm gonna say that a couple of dollars.
Approximate.
It helped me
It helped.
pay some bills.
Okay, it helped
That's
you
what
pay
I'm
some
saying.
bills. All right, we'll take that.
Now off the record, I hit you because
Hey, listen, just know when they come up in here in the man cave, we are not holding back nothing.
Sorry, we really put it
We
out
here
there.
to get the knowledge for y'all.
man say.
So, Pop, you got anything? You got any questions you want to ask him at all?
How about y'all keep talking and I'll think?
Hold on, did you bring your
All
voice
right.
with you too?
Well, what we're
That's what
gonna
I
do?
wanted to know too.
What we gonna do? Yeah, he bought his. I'm gonna have him go out and get it.
Okay.
Right now, we gonna switch seats, bring Wayne up in here. But what we gonna do right now is we gonna have you hit us with a couple minutes of that soul. If you ready for that, or you wanna wait?
Let's see. Let me try. Let's see, man.
Gotta
See,
dig in the crates.
you can at least give us one right now while we do this switch, one song, and we'll do a little something later.
Man, you know what?
You know, like I was thinking about like Redbird Mall and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You went to Carter High. Have you seen that film Carter High on Netflix?
That's the joint.
Yeah, I actually,
Everybody know about Carter.
Keith Campbell. I know him personally.
Okay.
I know him personally.
We're gonna have the director, producer of that film that's gonna be here next week.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in for that
Word,
one.
I definitely will. I'll call
He was
him.
supposed to come to the weed show, but he.
Man, I want
Hey,
to
come
so
on,
bad, dog.
come on, man.
But I got you.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Hey, so, Mister,
But that
you ready? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
let's get it, man. Let's see what you got, bro.
Go ahead. Introduce him right here, the soulful sounds of Mr. Maurice Curse.
That's not even. Look, that's not even the one. Let me get to the
Yeah, we got.
get the right one. Why they switch around and whatnot.
You know, I was down in when I was down in Galveston.
They off right now because they just waiting on him.
Yeah, when I was back in Galveston, right? One of the things that I noticed is like a lot of those places out there, like those restaurants and those patios, is that they're bringing in more like live musicians to come in and play, and I think it really sets the mood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's something that's really interesting. But I play the guitar, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I'm like I suck at it. I know like maybe 3 or 4 songs and playing the guitar.
I play a little bit of bass, but I
Bass.
ain't that great either.
Yeah, my son was
Wayne.
like, oh, what's up, Detroit? What's cracking, man?
What up, though?
How you doing, bro?
No, we do some
All right,
more
all
shit,
right.
man. Y'all know.
What happened to Ben Askren, Slim?
Oh, you talking about the Lamont Sanford
Oh
Award?
my
Do you
God!
dummy?
Yeah.
You big dummy.
You gonna be on there yapping that much, you don't get knocked out in 5 seconds.
What?
5 counters. Hey, listen.
5 seconds, dog.
We can play.
You overreacting right now.
No.
It was
Five.
the fastest
It was
knockout
actually
in
2
UFC.
He
seconds.
didn't even try to run for 5 extra seconds.
No, it was actually 2 seconds.
That's sad.
But it took the referees.
It took the referee 3 seconds to get over there to jump on the dude.
That is sad,
That
man.
jump was crazy, man. I mean, that whole card was fucking awesome.
That was amazing. That was part like I texted you. That's probably card of the year.
That was
I was kind of disappointed in John Jones though. You fighting a man on one leg and you don't get more aggressive than that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he was kind of hurt too, though. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean,
we gonna talk about it. Let's
You ready to rock and roll, Pimpin'?
Maurice Curtis, everybody. You ready now? That's
We're
good.
gonna try to make it work.
That worked. That worked.
I can definitely hear it.
Give it up, man. Come on. Come on. What are they talking about? What was that? That was awesome, man. Damn, I love talented people, man.
So this joint, man, this is my mic back up? I can't hear you.
Mic on, Kenny? Go ahead, bro.
You need to stop and just hit the switch right there. All right, Detroit. So tell me about this fight, man.
Nah, hold on.
You got it finished.
What was you saying?
That was a joint, man. I just playing around with some trap music and trying to do a little trap jazz and whatnot.
So that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Man.
Yeah.
Talented. So what do you do to you what is it called? Transcribing? That's what it's called, right?
When writing the music out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sound stupid.
No.
So we keep it real here. You know what I'm saying? We keep it real.
You know what I'm saying?
That all had the joint like they had on what was the joint with Nick Cannon?
Yeah, with Drumline, where it's like, this you, this me, that's me right there. No, but seriously, how do you transcribe your own music, or is
So I don't transcribe my own music yet. I don't even have a band to do that for.
Right.
But when the time comes, if a band ever reach out, they want pieces.
How do you write that down?
Oh, you just basically, like you just said, transcribe the music. Luckily for me, I can just look on my computer and be able to chart it out.
Okay. So you can play
because it's a pro. So the program I use Logic.
Yeah.
Logic Pro X, and it gives me basically you know, as I'm playing, it can write out the music for me.
Right.
Now, if I wanted to print the sheet music out, depending upon the instrument, then you know
What
that's
else you
when
play?
I play a little bit of drums, a little bit of keys, and a little bit of organ.
Man,
I sing sometimes when I want to, when it's fun.
You know that's
when it's fun.
That's a
Don't ask me to
question.
do that shit now.
That's a question I've always wanted to ask a saxophone player, and I'm sorry for hogging the mic. I'm just really interested in what you do. I love instruments. That was a question I've always wanted to ask. Is like one thing I like about the saxophone. This is the reason why I made him choose that instrument back in the day.
Right.
Is that the saxophone is one of those only instruments that can actually be the voice.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
for
so-
what you do, you're actually singing
Through
with
the instrument.
right?
Yeah. So
Does that help your singing though? That's my question.
does the saxophone help my singing?
Yes.
Ask my friends. Does it help my singing? They'll tell you hell no. But to me in my head, if I sing it, it makes more sense.
Right. So
if
you're
I can sing
singing
it, if I can
as
sing and
you're
play
playing.
it, yeah. If I
Right.
can sing it, I can
Right.
play it. If I can play it, it depends. Sometimes I can sing it back. Sometimes I can't. It's a learning experience. It's really all about muscle memory.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Right.
And especially once you get to a certain age, if you don't already have perfect pitch type of ear, it's constant work.
It's hard to get.
Yeah, man.
Okay. That's probably why I can't sing. Pitch off.
How you can't
Turn his
sing
mic
you
up
the
or
lead
something.
vocalist in a band?
Huh?
How you can't sing you the lead vocalist in a band?
Man,
I'm not the lead vocalist.
man,
No.
niggas.
They turn his mic off when
Niggas
he's
need to-
actually
He
saying,
think you die line. That's what that is. You think you die line?
See, he ain't never
King of the
seen
dance
it.
floor.
See, hey, look, I be playing my stuff down. I just be like, oh, it's all good.
So you pimping from on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you
was
pimping
there.
that night, man. Like for real. Cause we had that first table right on the dance floor.
Now see what I
You
ain't,
around doing your thing, man.
I'm not ever gonna lie, cause that night I was just like, I was hoping more people was gonna be up here, but it was about like maybe 6 tables that was full, I think, for that period of time. I think, and I was just like the opening.
Right.
So
But you came back though, right? Because it was crunk later.
yeah, I was still in there. I was
Yeah.
on stage,
Right,
still in
right,
there.
right.
But nah, oh my God, it was like 1,000 million people in
That
there.
joint
And
was
I
crunk
I
later
said,
on,
man,
It was literally 11 o'clock,
Lit.
probably about 50 people. 11:45,
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah, we was there for all of your
Easy.
stuff. We was there for your whole thing.
We,
I
like
was-
I said, we at the first table. Yeah. Like as soon as you walked,
Yeah,
like,
we
right
talked
where
about
your
it
stage
already,
was.
man.
We at the first table. We were right there.
I told him, I told him, man. I said it was so many people. I wish that there could have been more people ahead of time,
Man.
so they could really get to experience. Because what is really happening that people are not really seeing in Dallas is that even for I'm gonna call it the Chitlin Circuit. I know a lot of people be like, don't call it that.
Yeah, what clubs you playing at now? Go ahead and plug them.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and plug them while
reason
we're here though.
So I call it the Chitlin Circuit, and here's why. Back in the day, there were places that didn't let the black folks come into certain places. Now I get to knock on doors, and if I'm out on the street, performing, they'll open up the doors because hey, you sound good, but you have to have basically EPK, a manager, and agent halfway to get into half of these clubs.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I call it the Chitlin Circuit, because I'm doing half of my business by myself.
Yeah.
If it's not the band that I play with, I'm doing the business by myself. And I'm reaching out or having different promoters of different clubs or different bars or different lounges come and reach out to me and be like, hey bro, I love your sound, I want you to come through. Shout out to AC3 Enterprises, by the way. I am gonna be in Kansas City on the 20th of July this month.
That's what's up.
Hitting the road, man, and I'm actually very appreciative of that, because I actually started off with them, Mature Party Crowd at Union Park.
Okay, yeah, I seen you up there too.
Yeah, man. And so, man, when I tell you,
Hey, crank up there.
man. So Friday nights, I still have not went on a Friday night, but I heard the Friday nights is so live. Now Saturday nights we turn up. We turn up. Shout out to DJ Hugo Bellotti. But yeah, man, I hit Union Park, Brick House Lounges, both of them, DeSoto
And Fort Worth.
and Arlington. Brick House is Arlington and DeSoto.
And you're the legend too, right?
Legends. I'm not sure when we'll be back at Legends, but we'll be at Smoking Jacket on the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. I might be.
You gotta
mistaken.
make sure you shoot me some of these.
I
links,
will,
man,
for
so
sure,
I
man.
can come
I
in
got
there and
you.
get
I got
Yeah,
you.
definitely. Because I'll throw you on the YouTube page. And for all of you who may be watching the show that's new, make sure you guys please go to the YouTube page at the Mancave, DAMANCAVE at the Mancave at YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the page so you can get some of our great content. We're gonna start picking it up a little bit in this next coming week, and we'll start posting a little more for you guys to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Now, Wayne,
Detroit versus everybody.
what the fuck happened to Bishop Askren Slim? Oh my God!
Put
yo.
that Jay Holiday on. He got put to bed.
I need to see some clips.
Yo,
I need
you
to see
look,
some
don't
clips.
look it up now.
I
You'll
have
have
not seen
time.
none
You
of the
will have
fights.
time to watch the fight
Oh, no, it was only
30,000
5
times
seconds.
before the end of the show.
I mean, he ran,
So who was it?
put him to
Man,
sleep like at
he
2
was
seconds.
fighting,
It took the ref about 3 seconds to get over to get dude off him because he started bombing him while he knocked out like thieves.
Man,
Arms
yo,
up stiff, knocked out.
it wasn't a game, son. Look, Jorge Masvidal
Oh, you
does
should-
not
you
like
should-
Ben
Oh,
Askren.
you should have seen the post-fight
He
press
doesn't
conference.
like. Oh, I saw it all.
He said-
I'm an MMA fan, bro. You already know. I love
he
fighting.
told the reporter, "Look, ma'am, I get paid to hit people.
Right.
So yes, it was necessary to hit him while he was knocked out.
Until he's done.
Until the referee get over there and
Yep.
stop.
He
It's
hit
my
him.
job to
That's
knock him out.
That's who you blame it on. You blame it on the ref.
Nah,
Not moving in and
nah,
good
he
time.
hit him with a flying knee, and Slim was out before he hit the canvas. Slim,
We finna see this.
he was out. But go ahead and watch it. It's only 5 seconds.
But-
I'm gonna
That's
tell you,
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
So who's
So
the
the-
one that's talking all the noise on the other side?
The white boy with the fro.
Yeah, but you know, it was just a great card, though. I mean, Amanda.
It was the best card of the year.
Yeah, Holly Holmes versus
It's time for
that chick
it's time
name?
for Holly and Rockwall to hang it up. It's time.
yeah, Rockwall got crushed.
Yeah. I mean,
He
was
got
looking good.
embarrassed almost.
I mean, like Dana White said, you making all this money modeling for Abercrombie and Fitch and for Polo.
And
Why are you still fighting?
And don't talk shit about John Jones in my presence.
I mean, yo, that was a disappointing fight in my
No, it
opinion.
wasn't.
Like,
No, it wasn't.
he was fighting, dude. You
don't
the dude
understand
on
the
one
fight
leg.
game, though.
What you
Top
don't understand
10.
the fight game?
Top 10 most disappointing fights.
Dang.
Top 5.
No, not
need
John
to-
Jones. No. What it was is John Jones came out there and he was fighting a tough Thiago Santos or whatever his name is. And listen, if you look, that's his name, Thiago Santos. But if you look at that dude, Thiago Santos, and you can't say to yourself that Black Americans are spread around this country like
he's
around this
Brazilian.
world. Yeah, I know he's Brazilian, but he don't look no different than me or you
I was about to
or
say.
he out of the
Cubans,
same tribe we from. Believe
Cubans,
that.
Puerto Ricans, they
But
all look
anyway,
like us, dog.
This guy was tough.
He got it up right now.
This
Watch it
guy's
real quick.
look. This guy's not only tough. Thiago Santos is not only tough though. This is like a 5-time kickboxing champion,
I get
and
him.
he was
I get-
busting. He was busting John Jones' leg. And that fucked with his mobility, but he still won. The point is, John Jones should have took him down. John Jones should have done a couple of other things. He should have took him down.
And watch how
really-
you play him until he put his hands behind.
He talking mad smack though.
Man,
Put his
yeah,
hand
braided up,
yeah.
everything.
Don't look up. Don't look up. You gonna miss it. He can't.
Damn,
Bow.
God Almighty. Good God. Oh, he was not ready, bruh.
He was not ready at all. So he just like
He got
monkey
smoked.
flying kick dude
Hey,
with his
listen.
knees in the face.
Yeah, but listen,
he laid out and that was it.
understand who that is. First of all, that's Jorge Masvidal. That dude's got over 50 pro fights. He's been fighting since Kimbo Slice. He was street fighting in the Kimbo Slice era. Then he went and actually got like formally trained. Tried the UFC, retired,
He
and
mocked
came
him
back.
at the end.
Now understand who that guy is, though.
Oh, he is Stone Cold Killer. Don't get
You know who Ben Askren is? This is a 4-time Olympic champion, world champion
34,
in
5 of
wrestling.
them. They ran back the same.
Everything is matched up on the card.
Yeah, but that man is a straight up animal though. This man is old. I mean, he done won the world Olympic gold medalist 4-time.
What happened?
He got hit with that flying knee. That's right.
That's a monkey knee.
Out like a light.
Came out of nowhere with that.
Put that Jay Holiday on, give him a warm cup of milk.
Man, let him go. Give him his thumb too.
So this
That's
would be
disrespectful,
this will be
man.
my question for you right now, Maurice. Why you don't have a YouTube page?
I do have a YouTube page.
Why you don't have his YouTube?
So,
Questions.
what are you doing on YouTube?
So most of my YouTube stuff is covers.
What is it?
It's Maurice Curtis. Let me go to it since I'm on.
Nah, you set it out there for everybody though.
So it's Maurice Curtis. You can probably find it. I mean, shit. I can't even look. It's just Maurice Curtis. I swear.
All right.
That's all it is.
I
As a matter of fact, you will find me and a lot of other folks who done probably posted me on social media or on YouTube.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So do you
This is
play
dope.
with a DJ as well, like alongside a DJ, or is
Yeah.
it like, okay.
So how it goes is sometimes it's implemented as playing together. There are times where I'm playing and then the DJ is playing.
Yeah.
Like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start off and then the DJs do a set. Sometimes in between the set, I implement, hey man, I want to play around with the DJ. We do a couple songs together. Either he finishes that out or I end up finishing it out.
Okay.
So yeah, man. But yeah, man.
Yeah, this is dope. So your page is monetized and all that.
It's not monetized yet. Not yet.
Why not?
I need more subscribers. So
You got over 2,000. You only need 1,000.
I need more. I need more. Dog.
Everybody run out and subscribe to Maurice Curtis on
Look, I'm showing y'all
on
right
YouTube.
here.
I'm gonna
I'm
show
showing
y'all
y'all
too.
right there.
We're gonna pull
Listen,
it up. He
hold
got
on.
a nice YouTube page. This is pretty dope. So you ever thought about teaching on this?
So one of my videos up is one of my first videos that you can see that's on my page right now is of me doing like a solo edition on my tenor.
On the tenor side.
I usually don't play my tenor.
Right.
You know, that's the big baby.
Yeah.
And I don't, I'm a little nigga, so I don't like carrying it around, hollering around too much.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, for a good workout I sure enough will. But no, I've taught lessons to kids, from age I want to say the youngest was in like 5th grade.
All right.
So yeah, man.
Okay. So like, what would be the first? If someone was interested in getting to learning to play, what would be the song that you would say, hey, try to learn how to play this song first, or would you basically try to figure out what type of genre they would like to pick?
My first thing was be to tell them to start with basics.
Basics.
I always start with basics. Learn your scales up and down as much as possible, and learn to implement it with the music.
Yeah.
The music that you feel like you want to learn, rather be classical, country.
Yeah.
You don't see too many country saxophonists at all, but I'm hoping that more saxophonists get out here and start diving into different genres of music. Yeah, man.
So what would you suggest for young saxophone players coming up who want to do this professionally, like my son? What lane would you suggest for them to concentrate on and try to get into?
Lane as far as
Like, which one would be like a starter lane to kind of go so you can branch out and do other things? And would you prefer like classical, jazz, maybe? Actually, you know what?
Yeah, I mean
most of your professors will tell you start with your classical and start with your jazz. Those are the most purest forms of American music at that.
Okay.
For some, if you from the hood, if you in the hood and you go to church more often than not, start with your gospel music.
Yeah.
If you more so around white folks all the time and you like country music, start with country music. Start where your heart really is. I tell anybody, start where your heart is. Make that your career. Go with that genre of thing that you like. Do that and just do your research.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest thing for a lot of cats, because especially myself, I used to tell folks all the time I don't like researching other musicians because I'm still learning my own voice.
Yeah, right.
But that research, man, I tell you, it helped so much. Once I got to a point in place where I was like, you know what, I need to dive in more.
Right.
And so researching other people and their sound and their voices,
Right.
it helps to first of all know that you're not picking off of nobody else's sound.
So what sax you like best?
I love alto sax, but tenor as far as listening to. One thing that musicians never really get asked is that question, but in depth. And the reason,
Well, let's get in depth.
so I love listening to the tenor sax more than like. As a matter of fact, my mentor plays tenor sax more than likely. Jamada Holloman, and is like one of the best saxophonists in Dallas.
Oh, we need to get him in.
For sure, man. For sure, man. As a matter of fact, he got some stuff getting ready to come out too.
Definitely.
But
I'm trying to get daggone what's his name? Don Diego in here, but
keep knocking, man.
Yeah,
keep knocking.
I'm gonna keep doing it,
knocking,
man. I go up there and stand in front of the stage.
I mean, Vanettis, yeah. I mean, for real, man. Yeah, man. That's one of the big cats out from Dallas, man.
Nah, but you said in depth. I tried to get Spud Webb too. I saw him, but he ain't gonna come on. I did the little Union
prank,
Park. That's where he was. Yeah,
he was there.
He be in Union Park, and he be in Cadillac and Guitars.
He was,
I'm putting that man business all out there.
Man, he was at the W. Man, he'll be all right. He'll be all right, man.
Come on the show, dog.
He's a Hutch graduate. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Well, I mean, he got that basketball league. I love to talk about that.
Say, man.
He own that.
Man. Dude is doing things. Say, man.
So can you do something with that? Can you do something with him?
That's a big one.
I mean, he can play.
You got a nice bass line? Hit me with a bass line. Just come off the dome.
Let's see what he got right here.
Got the Mancave Band Edition in here. I love it. Keep that up real quick. Hold up. Don't stop. Yeah. One more time. One more time. Yeah, I love it.
You're supposed to break them bars down.
Live in the man cave, Joe. We out here. Good job, Pop. Good job, man.
I almost wanted to start rapping on that one, man.
Live in the man cave. We love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Listen, man. I love cat that already. When you play Barry sax, you gotta understand what a bass line is.
Right.
He went straight to. He was like, okay, I can hold down that bass line. I was like, yeah, dog, yeah. Yeah, man.
He got music in his blood.
Say, man.
It's there somewhere. It's there. You gotta pull it up.
Man.
Good job. Hey, I really enjoyed that, man. That was pretty awesome, man. That's what I love about musicians. Like I go to band practice a lot, and sometimes I throw out something to the guys. I'm like, hey, I'd like to play this song right here, this particular song, and man, these dudes are just pick it up. Learn it right there, like that shit's so amazing to me, man.
Like you feel it, like
so amazing to me, man. So that's why I always wanted to, that was pretty dope, man. I appreciate that.
Especially when you were like when musicians get together and there is like that energy is just circulating around the room. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of go like, okay, I see what you're doing. Let me jump in there and do my little thing. And next thing you know, you just got this beautiful little masterpiece that nobody really came up with on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. Like it's like a big, and this is why I tell folks all the time. I'm from Dallas. I'm New Orleans inspired because you think about a gumbo when you think about music. One of the first bands I started playing with was called Gumbo. I can't even remember. It was a long ass name, but it basically just hit on the analogy of a gumbo and what music is and how many integral parts music plays or what is put into the music that brings about, you know, a good feast.
Yeah. Right.
You know, a good meal. So you got your good bass line like your son just played. You have your nice highs and your melody parts that you know what I'm saying, maybe the strings will cover, maybe a horn section will cover, you know, just different stuff like that. And you know, you got your drums that bring that beat, that heart, that boom to you. And man.
That's what go-go is, man. Go-go is it's a bed of percussion and you lay whatever on top of it you want.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I don't know, have you heard of Sean Martin?
Yeah.
So you know he does the go-go. Man, that's one of my favorite parties to ever. Just sit there, just go to, just be like,
I got to head up there one time and check them out, man. Yeah, man. Like I still haven't really checked them out, so I got to go up there and check it out. I don't be doing nothing. I'm lazy and shit.
Well, you know, it happens.
I just other than this, I sit at home. I take care of the kids and make sure I got everything I need, and I go home, man. I don't be doing too much, man.
You know what? People are funny to me because they be like, man, you seem like you're so personal. First of all, I'm really to myself, and unless I'm really out there and I'm really gigging and I'm at the show, once I'm done, man, you gonna see me off to myself, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Maybe smoke one. You know what I'm saying?
But most musicians are like that. It's almost like y'all tote your souls in a sense, man. Where it's like the music is how you speak, and then it's like how we would normally communicate to y'all is kind of a weird thing.
Yes. Yeah.
The life of an artist, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anyone who...
You know, you listen to Grover?
Yeah.
Grover Washington? Yeah, like that's, you know, Mr. Magic and all them. I just had him listening to that coming down. I'm like, man, you got to get into some of this, you know? Like, he just all in this classical, contemporary. I know.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. Like
that's what we here for.
It's cats like John Bach, you know what I'm saying? It's cats like John Baptiste. It's cats like, Beethoven. Yeah. You know, some of those cats actually help form my ear. I play certain phrases just the same as, you know, what's in some of them. That's why it's called classical
music.
Now,
what would a phrase be in?
Just a certain measure.
Just a measure of notes, like 8 or 4 bars or something like that. That's just a phrase,
just, you know, carrying out a few notes, you know, and before you take that next breath.
Right.
That's what your phrase is.
So he has a soprano too.
Okay.
What is the soprano? What kind of soprano is it? Unbranded. A what? Oh, unbranded.
He said
sorry.
Unbranded.
It's a beautiful instrument to me.
In my head.
It's nice.
Man, one of those. Oh man.
It's a nice. But he plays soprano as well. Like, are all of those interchangeable as saxophones? Or?
They're all different keys. Except, so let me not say they're all. So Barry and alto is the same key. It's tuned to E flat.
Oh, it's
so if I hit a C, he's gonna hit the same note, the same placing that I'm hitting my C.
Okay.
And so if I hit my G, same thing.
So
same thing.
Alto sax and this Barry sax, they got the exact same finger.
Pretty much one and the same.
Okay.
And it's just a deeper.
You said what, Pop?
Yeah, it's all the same fingers.
That's what she said.
So even on soprano, it's
I was about to ask, how does that work in that sax coming from dots? How does that work out?
hey, you know it's the man cave when people say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Here we go.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give y'all one jewel tonight.
But seriously, are they all the same? Yeah, so they're different keys, but they're all the same.
Soprano and tenor have the same. It's tuned to the same key. So if I play my G, he plays his G. It sounds the same. If I play a G and the tenor sax plays a G, as far as fingering is concerned, not concert key, yeah, we gonna be on 2 totally different pitches.
Okay.
That's crazy. I didn't even know
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that. I didn't even know that, man. Like,
B flat, and E flat. That's
But me
what we
personally,
all
like
take to.
I would when I go out, I would rather hear a live band play, and it's just for those specific things that you were just talking about. Like I like to see like human perfection and human error. Like you know what I'm saying. If I'm because I have an ear for music as well. I think we all pretty much do. But sometimes you be sitting there, you hear a band and somebody's out in the wrong note or something like that. Maybe the lead dude just turn around and look back and
My bass player all the time.
Hold on. Let me say.
And get back in there, you know?
Since my drummer, one of my drummers is on here, Tony. Lil Cat Reed out of Fort Worth, one of the baddest drummers. Since he want to be on here talking noise, he does the same thing. He hits wrong notes all the time.
Okay.
On drums.
See, the difference is when you hit the wrong note, we in the crowd, we actually point and laugh at you.
That's funny. That's messed up.
Half the people in the crowd don't have a clue.
But that's true.
No music,
That's
we
true.
point and laugh.
That's true.
And then when you get off the stage, we be like, yeah, dog.
See, that's the part that I hate because people ain't shit. People ain't shit sometimes. And you be like, I know I messed up. Why are you telling me that? Shut up. Just shut up.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, you just try to keep your self-esteem good. That's all.
Yeah, those are my favorite parts. I like to see the band come together.
Yeah,
But one of the things I really think is missing is just the horn section in a lot of these groups. Like even big bands, they're just totally missing that.
Well, I mean, you gotta think of it like this, man. A lot of it stems from not having a budget for it, and musicians be like, we gotta eat. So you know, if you ain't got the budget for it, I might show up. But I might not. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like I have, you know, homies that I slide through for you. You know what I'm saying? Just based off the fact that hey, I fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? We cool like that.
Supposed to.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And it's
Supposed
just
to
like
ride,
hey,
Slim.
you know what I'm saying? It's almost to a point where it's almost like the bar. We as musicians half the time we keep the barter system keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, hey man, I do this for you, you do this for me, I got you, you know, you got me, hey, this part. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we miss each other's events. You know, because we try to stay busy as possible, but I tell anybody in the day, man, if I can shoot through, I'll shoot through. You know what I'm saying? But
I was gonna come to your joint last Saturday, you told me, but you never sent me.
What was
You told me the legend, I think
Legends?
it was, He was like, I'll get you in the door free or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Anybody ever told you?
no, that was Union Park. That was Union Park.
no, it wasn't. You told me Legend. Union Park, I would have came. It's right there in the street from my house. You know what I'm saying? I would have came to that. Yeah. But hey, look. Okay.
Have you ever told you like Jason Mitchell?
Who?
Jason Mitchell, boy, that played Easy and Straight Outta Compton. Yeah, you definitely favor him, yo.
Yeah, I got family everywhere.
No, he's from New Orleans.
Hey, look. So
He's from where?
Originally from New Orleans.
Oh, word. That's what's up.
So Maurice, if I'm gonna give you a chance here on the show, which is gonna be captured in YouTube lore forever, the opportunity to say thank you or give some kind of recognition to the person throughout your whole entire life that you would like to thank the most for being where you're at with your instrument today.
Man, that's a lot of people though. That's a lot of people though.
Run them down.
First and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior,
There you go.
Yahshua the Christ. Man, God for sure. First of all, first and foremost, and then of course, that's my grandmother, my mother, and who are both. My late grandmother, who's she passed away in 2017. Who was one of the dopest singers in the Kojic Church, in my opinion. Man, she killed gospel music. My mother, who's a dope singer still.
Your mom sing?
Yeah, my mom sings.
Okay, that's what's up.
For sure.
So you sing then, bro? You
I
fake
don't listen.
Give us a little
Not
bit.
at all. No, I won't. No, sir.
Give me that bass line. Let's see what he got.
I ain't got nothing on that one. I ain't singing nothing. No, but man, my mom's, my late father, who put me on the secular music when I wasn't supposed to be listening to secular music.
though.
My sister, Shambria Curtis Johnson.
Shouts to Shambria.
That's she actually has a book coming out. Y'all need
What's
to
the
get
name
on
of the book?
I'm
We'll talk about it when
you will talk about it when she come on the show.
When she come to the show, we'll talk we'll talk about that, Shambria. Bring the book.
Let's see.
How about you thank that man that gave you that sax?
My very first band director ever, Mr. Billy Pruitt.
I pay attention.
Yes, sir. I'm talking about. I knew you was gonna catch it. Mr. Billy Pruitt, man, who was actually over at he's retired now, but he was in the Hutch district at Wilma Hutchins and Kennedy Carey.
Mr. Pruitt, we want to thank you for the bottom of our heart for giving this man that sax, because he's doing some big things out here in these streets.
Yeah, man. The different bands that put me on that got me to where I'm at now.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, let's say my band now, Swiss Music and Groovy Tunes.
Okay.
Intense the band. Let's see, Soulful Sounds.
Soulful Sounds at San Diego.
Yeah, man. I rocked with them for a while, man.
Shouts to the Takeover band too, y'all.
So do you plan on putting out like a? Do you want to do like a solo album or something like that?
I'm working on. I'm working on my solo album right now, my EP.
Okay.
And
what's it called?
I'm still working on it, but it's the theme.
You missed it.
The theme is Road to 30.
Thank you. There you go.
So now we go.
That's
so
your
now
new
we
title. Shit.
So and the reason why I want to call it that is because in the past few years I feel like I've legit had to live life. I've went through and this is probably me first, just being transparent.
Yeah. That's what's up.
I went through being homeless for a minute, and people wouldn't even have expected it. Went through being homeless, not having a car. Being down on my luck, not having $1 to my name for at certain periods of time, all while still street performing,
right?
And still gigging, right. And and I got so much experiencing deaths back to back. My grandmother and my father, experiencing a divorce at a young age.
Yeah,
it's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a long time coming, but I thank God for being where I am now.
I tell you like this, man. We definitely thank you for persevering through that, and
appreciate you, Doc.
Man, we appreciate you coming out to the show today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I hope that this whole thing works out for you as well as us, and we can keep piggybacking on each other to try to make things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Who did these? I love the sound
voice of God.
Hey, man,
we didn't even hear him today. Nah, he obviously ain't, because usually he be talking. He ain't say shit today. We didn't hear him today.
He said, I'm just listening, dog.
Hey, look, guys.
For July weekend.
Hey, look, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. For those of you that are out there who are just newly tuning in, we are the Mancave. This is Dave, Suge, and Wayne. We appreciate you guys for coming out and joining us. Please make sure you hit the YouTube page. You can also follow us on Vimeo at Kenny Woodfolk. YouTube at The Mancave, DAMANCAVE. You can watch us live stream every Monday night at 9 o'clock to 10 at KMWImedia.com/live streaming. You can also give us a call on the phone number 203-802 KMWI Until next week, we out of here.
Shout out to Blue Gums Murphy, the first black sax player on the cartoon.
Facts, big facts.